out and away we... Bing bang!
Welcome back to another episode of Paddock Talk. I am Kyle.
I'm Scott.
And on today's episode, we're going to be reviewing, honestly, a pretty exciting Japanese Grand Prix. And then, just a little bit of news out of the F1 world. Obviously, we're going to have a long break the next couple weeks. But, Scott, what do you think of Japan?
Not too bad. Could have been better. Could have been worse. It was a lot of yo-yo racing in the first little bit. But considering it wasn't too horrible, the safety car definitely shook up the field, and we'll definitely talk about that here in a bit. But all in all, not a bad race.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. It was nice seeing the McLarens finally take the start. And I don't know if you just want to jump into the start right away, but just what a start from Oscar. Just passing
oh my God,
three
what a
cars
start
right off
from,
the start.
yeah.
To take the lead.
And again, I mentioned last week's episode, Kimi Antonelli cannot get a fucking start right to save his life. Like another botch start, and George too as well. But both McLarens were up there. Correct me if I'm wrong. There was a Ferrari as well that had a great start too as well. I want to say it was Shaw because I don't believe it was Hamilton.
It was Shaw, yeah.
But yeah, great start. Like, man, Mercedes has to figure this out. This turbo issue with the getting these starts, because it's getting to be a joke. I know I said in my picks last week that Kimi was going to wreck out and not finish in the top three because he was going to stall at the start, but he almost did it again, and it almost bit him in the ass. He almost didn't get the podium.
Yeah, starting his second race in a row on pole and just dropping right down to sixth right off the start. And in the post-race interviews, he said it was an issue on his side. It's something he needs to work on in his starts because, like you said, it's become a consistent issue this year for him. And
fucking obviously.
And the data shows it on Julian Palmer's analysis that he was a little touch and go on the throttle to start the race, and then the data shows him bogged down off the start as well. But you don't need data to show you that, because it looked like he was barely moving off the start.
Every start's been the same. It's been either no go or just a slow go. And yeah, he fell straight to sixth, first to sixth within a few turns, and it was just a bad situation. But like I said, the safety car definitely shook up the order and really helped out to his advantage.
Oh yeah, absolutely. George came in right before the safety car, him getting bad luck as well, dropping down. Oscar kind of getting screwed by the safety car as well. Because I think he might have been, I don't know if he was leading the race up until that point, but it would have been very close if the safety car was a couple laps sooner. Definitely helped out Kimi, as we know, starting sixth, ended up winning. He pitted right before the safety car came in, gained all that time, and yeah, I don't think it helped out anyone more than Kimi.
No, Kimi didn't pit. That's why he got the George pitted, because he was up to, I believe, second, because Oscar was leading at the point.
Mm-hmm.
And they pitted him, and as soon as he pitted, got half a lap in, and Behrman decided to yeet himself off the spoon corner and cause a safety car, and that's what really screwed the whole race up for George and the Mercedes team. But
yeah, that's the biggest crash.
Kimi got saved by luck of the draw. I'm sorry, I was just saying Kimi got lucky. Like, he wasn't going to finish at the podium the way he was going,
mm-hmm.
and George was going to slither into possibly first, definitely a second place finish. But yeah, let's definitely talk about that wreck, because that was a nasty impact, 50G recorded impact. Like I said, right before the spoon corner, that like double apex left-hander, and it was just the issue of driving these, I wouldn't call them hybrid cars anymore. They are half battery, half internal combustion units. And Behrman's lucky it wasn't anything worse, because he went from 300 kilometers per hour straight into a wall because Franco Colapinto's car ran out of battery and lost 50 to 60 kilometers per hour, like dead stop. And Ollie Behrman had to make an evasive maneuver, and it happened to go left into the grass and gravel and crashed, and that was a hard impact.
Yeah, you kind of hit all the points I was going to mention. Like you said, 50 Gs. I can't remember the last incident that was that hard. Maybe Mick a couple years ago. But yeah, just a terrible, terrible crash. And we're going to get into some stuff later probably. But yeah, just weird that it's not weird because we become used to it, but cars running out of battery there and it becoming an issue for cars behind. And it finally resulted in a big impact. And I was really scared for Ollie. I thought he had broken maybe his ankle or the lower bone in his leg, the way he was limping when he got out of the car and was needing assistance.
Oh, it took two marshals to hold him, and I said the same thing watching it live. I was like, man, holy shit, did he break something? Oh my god. Because it took a while for them to actually show the impact, and normally they don't show a wreck until they know the driver is safe. And it took him a bit, and I was like, oh my god, what happened?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be sore. So it's honestly probably lucky that there's a 5-week break coming up. But it was positive to see him at the post-race interviews after. But yeah, just a terrible, terrible incident as a result of just some weird regulations that we're going through and still trying to figure out right now.
Yeah, and I know the FIA is trying their best to figure it out, but drivers have said, hey, this is going to happen. Like, this is inevitable. There's some tracks, there's no places to really harvest battery, and you're going to come across this, and it's going to happen, and fuck me. Third race into the season, and it was a nasty impact. It wasn't like evasive maneuver, driver hit a wheel, flips. It was a straight up car ran out of battery and just slowed down, like a parachute was hooked to the back of it. And I really hope during this 5-week break that the FIA and the teams have a nice dialogue to say, okay, what the hell's going on? How can we fix it?
Yeah, I agree, Scott. And I don't know if you've actually seen, but there actually is a meeting that's going to be being held. Did you see that?
I did not.
Yeah,
you must have better news in Canada than I do here in the States.
Yeah, so
Obviously.
the race had released a video, so I'm kind of quoting from them. But there is going to be a meeting April 9th between the F1 stakeholders. So a bunch of tech chiefs, I believe, from every team, an engine manufacturer from every engine manufacturer. Well, like a representative from each engine manufacturer, sorry. And then heads of the FIA on April 9th to just discuss everything that's going on with the regulations. So what they were saying in the video is their top 3 priorities for these meetings is the safety of these regulations, which clearly, like we were just talking about, we've had plenty of issues with, like cars bogging down off the starts and nearly getting rear-ended, and then just a battery issue with Colapinto causing Ollie to take evasive action at the last GP. So safety is their top priority. Second is something we talked about last week, is still the quality issues, Scott, where the cars, just due to the battery deployment and energy deployment, that they just can't. Quality's not as exciting as it used to be right now. The cars just aren't at their max speed. So that
no,
go ahead.
And you're right. Yeah, they're definitely not at the max capabilities. Like, this is F1. I'm gonna beat this shit like a dead freaking horse, but I don't know why I said freaking. But I'm watching fighter pilots here in these cars. Like, I want to see them push the limits and push the car to the ragged edge. And right now it's, hey, let's push it, and 300 meters, I gotta harvest. And I know the previous hybrid engine had, you did harvest power for the ERS, but it wasn't that huge of a gap. You didn't notice, like, when you're harvesting, yes, the lights did come on, you did lose some speed, but it didn't seem like that huge of a loss of a speed. Like, I don't remember seeing a wreck caused by an ERS system to the extent of this. Okay, I've seen many of them where it's like, okay, they have slowed down, the driver maneuvered and maybe hit a wheel or hit something, and it caused the incident. This was like just god awful. I honestly need to see somebody walk into the FIA, and I apologize for the bad impression I'm about to do. Like, somebody just needs to walk in from the F1 teams, like John Taffer style, bar rescue to the FIA, just swagger up and go, "What are you doing? You're gonna freaking kill somebody! Change it now! Get the shit going!" Like, they just need to, like, just... I'm shutting it down! Just see Audi's engine representative. I'm shutting it down! But just something needs to happen here.
Yeah.
Like the drivers are unhappy, teams are kind of getting unhappy. The FIA is like, oh, the fans like the racing. You know what? For a few laps, the racing is pretty enjoyable. But it becomes who's charging their battery. Oh, well, he just passed. Oh, man, great pass. Oh, it's because the other guy was charging his battery. He's going to get taken. Yep, he just got overtaken the next turn, so... Something needs to happen. I don't think it's working. I'm trying to be optimistic, but if I'm saying shut the shit down in week 3 or race 3 of the season, maybe the FIA needs to really look long and hard in the mirror and try to come up with something different.
Oh, I totally agree, Scott. And to go back to the priorities they're focusing on, the third that they're focusing on is actually the cars running out of energy at the end of the straights, causing them to lift and coast more. So again, all these priorities are all linked together. And again, it just seems like they almost need to rework the regulations. And in the video, they had talked about some fixes, possibly allowing the cars to harvest more while super clipping instead of lifting and coasting. They talked about possibly transferring more percentage of the power output to the internal combustion engine. Slowing the cars down, I don't know how they would do that. But yeah, it seems like something clearly needs to change with the energy management and battery deployment for these races to be exciting throughout the full amount of laps.
And again, I've said it before. I know it's a totally new regulation for these engines. The first big change since 2014, but I don't remember 2014 seeing this many issues besides, engines, going kaput, a lot of blown motors. We haven't seen that. It's just, seen a lot of electrical issues, a lot of hydraulic issues, but the racing isn't there. It's just kind of boring. 300 meters from a turn and you just see somebody lift. Like, you're watching the onboard graphics and it goes from flat out to letting off the gas and harvest, turn, and then deploy again. It's not the right direction. It needs to go to a more V8 level engine where it's just full engine with maybe a little bit of KERS or ERS, depending what generation of Formula One that you're used to. KERS was from the late 2000s, and ERS took over the 2014. I mean, with a little electrical help, but just have an IC unit that's gonna just go the distance.
Yeah, I totally agree. But that's kind of all I had on those meetings. Again, just going back, it seems like Behrman's crash might have really pushed this ahead. These meetings happening, just because it seems like every priority kind of was linked to Behrman's crash. Just a safety issue, too much energy management, and yeah, it was Colapinto running out of energy on the straight. Maybe not a straight, but just going into the corner that caused him to crash. So.
Well, I mean, it's a short shoot. They were doing, yeah. I think they said Behrman was doing just over 300 kilometers per hour, which I don't know what that is in freedom units, but still, that's a lot. Like, that's like what, 180, 185, somewhere around there. Like, and that's a short shoot. That's going from the hairpin, the only really harvesting area of the track, to Spoon, which is a kind of a flat out left double apex left-hander. Like, and a lot of tracks are going to have these. Like, there's not a lot of good tracks that are going to have these harvesting areas to where you can store up all this new electrical power.
Yeah, so if they don't change something soon, I guarantee we'll see it happen again, and maybe something even bigger. incident-wise?
So everybody needs to subscribe, like, so we can get ads, so we can hire John Taffer to walk into the FIA meetings. Like, I just now want that to happen. I feel like I've lost my voice a little bit. Like, I just want to see the swagger, the
I'm
music
shutting it
hit.
down.
I'm shutting it down. Just takes like Adrian Newey's notebook and just throws it across the room.
Uh,
Oh my god. So what's next on the show is Kyle. Please tell us how you did for your gambling side hustle. You know, to help afford to pay for this disastrous podcast.
yeah, so it was not a good weekend bet-wise for me at all, which isn't surprising. Um, like I might have mentioned last weekend, if you're not betting against me, you just hate money. Just straight up, you hate money. Um, no, just an absolute terrible first losing weekend for me, Scott. So I went 0-3. Um,
Ooh. And we
it,
did put the graphic up on social media, so be sure to follow Paddock Talk on Facebook and Instagram.
oh, absolutely. My graphic was up, and you'll notice. So race winner, I had George Russell to win. Screwed by the safety car, that lost minus 140. Um, if you remember last episode, I did mention and note Kimi Antonelli at plus 250 to win, and turns out he ended up winning. If I had just actually taken that bet, it might have paid for all my losses. So just a big time fuck
Sorry.
up on my part there. Um,
Sorry, I might have kind of talked you out of that with the whole race start incidents, but it's fine. You should be knowing this by now to not trust my instincts when it comes to picking anything.
no, that's okay, Scott. Actually, though, if I can take a positive from my gambling picks this weekend, it is that I noted Kimi Antonelli to win. I didn't take the bet, but I felt it in my gut. So I think I just needed to actually go with my gut next time, and I'll finally win a bet. But moving on to my prop bets, so I had Hadjar, Behrman, and Gasly all to finish in the top 10 at plus 375. So obviously Behrman crashed out, so that was an immediate loss. Hadjar was battling for the points all race, a little screwed by the safety car, dropped out, and then Gasly finishing P7 was the only pick from that bet to finish in the top 10, so a loss from me there. And then my other prop bet, under 15.5 classified cars. So Scott, we've had some pretty unreliable races the first two races. This is the most
Oh
reliable
yeah.
race of the fucking season. The only two cars to not finish were Behrman, who crashed, and then the only car to not finish because of a reliability issue was Aston Martin's or Lance Stroll's Aston Martin with another water pressure issue. So
And fuck Behrman because I picked Lance Stroll again for the third race in a row to finish last in our picks. And that motherfucker's got the gall to wreck out before Lance Stroll decides to park it because he ran out of talent. I'm
so
sorry. That was just my
no,
sorry.
no, Behrman absolutely is to blame for all our issues this weekend. You getting your last place pick wrong, and then me just losing all my bets, even though he wasn't involved in two of them. So no,
I'm not far from the Haas. I'm not far from the Haas headquarters or the HR headquarters here in North Carolina, so I may have to traipse over there and just file my grievances for the Paddock Talk podcast.
oh God. But yeah, no. So again, just a terrible gambling weekend from me. My season record right now is setting at 0 bets won, 6 bets lost, and 1 bet void. So again, if you're not betting against me, you just hate money. Um, Scott, I don't know if you have anything to say on my bets, but yeah, it's
Oh
again,
no,
the only
like,
positive I can pull is that I had a small gut feeling to put money on Kimmy, and I didn't. That's the only positive.
and again, everybody listening, if you hear Kyle say you can take that to the fucking bank, that so and so is gonna place or win the race, you do the complete opposite. Like you just say, you know what? I think I'm going to put money on Botas finishing on the podium. You know, that seems like a more sound financial, bet there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like again, the bets I put on Cadillac the last race weekend, both to not finish, and it was their first double finish of the week. You mentioning that, though, it did put just a reminder in my head to mention Fernando Alonso finally finishing a race and Aston Martin getting their first race finish of the season. So
First car, one
everything's
lap
looking up.
down, so he wasn't even last.
No, everything's looking up in Aston Martin. Finally, some positives.
Yeah, like I shared a meme in our little group chat. I didn't make it, so I didn't want to do it. But Fernando Alonso it was a scene from Spider-Man 2. You know, kids, if you're 15 years or younger, Google it, YouTube it. Just Spider-Man from Spider-Man 2. Easy, he's a hero. And it's just Fernando Alonso just as Spider-Man, like just unmasked. Like that was a massive effort. That piece of shit car, he got to A, finish a race, and B, finish ahead of other cars, mind you. Granted, one was a Cadillac and one was a Williams. Hey, he still finished it. It was 18th place. Move on.
No, absolutely. Japan was all about positives for me, Scott. Fernando finishing and, just gut feelings when it comes to my betting, even though we lost.
Hey, so should we talk about, I know we talked about this before, whether we should put this in the show or not, but talk about a shitty driver doing some racing in another series. No, it's not Max Verstappen because he's not a shitty driver and he's great in anything he drives. But Lance Stroll is going to make his opening round. He's going to make the take on the opening round of the GT World Challenge European season later this month. So Lance Stroll is going to keep racing during this extended break, at Paul Ricard, and I'm trying to look to see what team it's for so I can send a apology note to that team saying, why the hell did you... Why? Like, sign me to drive the car. At least I'll be entertaining.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, when you told me that earlier, I got excited. Not that Lance might be pursuing other things, it's just that he might be leaving F1. There's been rumors that he's been gonna go play tennis. I don't know if that's completely made up. It's something I've been praying on just so he can get out of that second Aston Martin seat. But if he is going to race in this, what'd you say, GT2?
GT competition. So It is a GT3.
Okay.
Is the class he'll be in.
So I'm not trying to shit on the drivers in GT3. Obviously, it's not going to be the just upper echelon of racing that is Formula One. So maybe it's something Lance can actually compete in, and not compete in Formula One for Aston Martin.
Come on,
is the way I look at it. Come on, son. That's just the way I look at it. We need someone else in that seat.
Well, another F1 driver does compete in the endurance racing platform. His name is Max Verstappen, and he wins races. Granted, sometimes they get taken away because, cheating, but come on, it's Max Verstappen versus Lance Stroll. Like, Lance Stroll is pretty much putting a celebrity driver in this seat. He is running, trying to find his running mates here. Set to share the car with, it's going to be Kamtoyu Racing with former Manor F1 Roberto Marahi and Aston Martin Academy prospect Mari Boye, who competes in F2. I have no idea who those drivers are. I'm racking my brain on this Manor driver.
These are all brand new names to me, Scott.
They're just Greek to you. But in an interesting note, Max Verstappen is running the Nürburgring 24-hour in May. So at least we'll have an F1 driver succeeding in an endurance race this season.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I know there was something you wanted to mention on Max as well when it comes to that stuff.
Oh, yes. So, chat, hear me out here. Max Verstappen is retiring. Just kidding. We've been working on our clickbait headlines here, and I really couldn't think of one off the top of my head. but Max Verstappen is done with F1. This new regulation series, with this new regulations. Not a fan, and he is really thinking, you know what? I'll take my shit and go home. I think it's bad for F1. It looks bad when Kimi Räikkönen did it in 2010. It looked bad when Alonso did it in, what was it, 18, 19? When he took a sabbatical. And it just looks bad when a driver takes a mini sabbatical and then comes back and is kind of a shell of themselves. Except Alonso, because he came back and then started producing podiums like crazy.
Yeah, yeah, this is something Max, or not just has, it's surrounded Max for the last couple of years, the potential of him retiring, and maybe just being able to prove that he's, the best at racing in other series, and if he knows or can kind of see the writing on the wall with Red Bull that they're not going to be competitive throughout these regulations for the next 3 years or whenever they end in 2029, 2030. Yeah, maybe like you said, he takes a sabbatical and goes and focuses on his GP2 or his esports team or whatever he's doing now and wins the championship there. But yeah, he might just be done with F1. He won 4 championships in a row, lost a 5th by 2 points. So he has nothing else to prove in F1 really. So
No, not at all. I just don't want to see him leave at the prime of his career. Like, he's 28, going to be 29 this year, I think.
Yeah.
If you want to check the stats on that. But when Raikkonen left, it was about the same time frame. Alonso was a few years older. Schumacher retired, then came back, like in his late 30s. I just don't like him retiring in his prime because, yeah, the series does kind of suck right now, but you're making 80 mil a year. Do you really want to leave that? Like, I wouldn't. Like just say, shit, Red Bull's going to be shitty. I'll just void my contract and go to a team who's good, who's going to pay me that money. But, these millionaire playboy drivers, it's all about principle. Maybe he does want to do this, and maybe, spend time. He just had a newborn last year. Maybe spend more time at home and run and be happy. Like, just who knows right now with him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I did look up his age, too. He's 28 years. He was born September 30th, 1997. So he's only a year and a week older than me, which kind of makes me depressed, to be honest with you.
Shut the fuck up. It makes you depressed. He's 12 years younger than me.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Fuck. Just
you know
talking
what?
about
that
Max.
was a good little thing, but fuck, now I'm depressed, buddy.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Just talking about Max recently, though, I did have one stat noted. I know with my last stat I mentioned might have been wrong about Behrman being the only other driver to finish in the points besides Mercedes and Ferrari. I heard that during FP1 in Japan, but apparently it might have been wrong. But Max Verstappen missed Q3. As we all know, this is a qualifying stat. First time since 2019 Max Verstappen hasn't had pole in Japan. Scott, who was the last driver to have pole in Japan besides Max Verstappen? Once a Red Bull driver.
Well, besides this weekend,
yeah.
He was once a Red Bull driver?
Once a Red Bull driver.
I'm trying to think. So Max had what, 4, 5 straight?
Yep.
Poles?
Since 2019.
Oh, shit. You know what? That's a good one. I was gonna say Lewis, but he wasn't a Red Bull driver, so Seb?
You got it correct. Sebastian Vettel for Ferrari in 2019 was the last person to have pole besides Kimi Antonelli and Max Verstappen in Japan.
Oh shit. Yeah, it makes sense. It's a driver's track, and Seb is the driver of the people. He did have a turn named after him for a race. The old B turn.
The B turn in Japan.
The old B turn. Wow. So that show actually lasted longer than I was expecting. Do you have anything else to add?
No, that was it, Scott. We got through everything we needed to talk about.
So, as you guys know, there is no racing for 29 days, but we're going to still pump out a show every week. Each week's going to be kind of different. Me and Kyle were talking beforehand what we want to do for shows. So, next week, we're thinking of doing a Dynasty show, talk about some of the big dynasty teams, maybe Ferrari, McLaren, Williams in their heyday, what made them so good during that time, and maybe some classic race episodes. So next week we'll talk about dynasty teams. The following week, we talked about this earlier. Since Bahrain has been canceled, do a race review of a classic Bahrain race, and this is where everybody gets involved. Tell me what Bahrain race you want us to watch and kind of break down. You got over a decade worth of races there. We'd love to hear your guys' opinions on it on like YouTube, social media, and such. Make it interesting, break it down, have some fun. But Kyle, do you have anything else to add?
Nope. Just want to thank everyone for listening again and just to support us any way they can.
Yeah, agreed. We really appreciate the interactions on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Like I said, we add the shows up. Tell us what you want to hear. We'll talk about it. We definitely want to be interactive with the fans. I really appreciate you guys listening to the show. Until next week, I've been Scott.
And I have been Kyle.
See you guys next week, and let's have some fun. Thank you.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to Paddock Talk. Don't forget to like and share the episode and check out Paddock Talk on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Discord.